everyone, and welcome to the Red Brick House. Today I am going to attempt to make some hand towels to match the table runner that I made in the last video. If you haven't seen that video, I will put it at the end of this video so you can click on it and watch it if you're interested. But I have a lot of this leftover fabric that I used for the reversible table runner, and then I have some old hand towels that, you know, they've seen better days. They're stained, they're just kind of old, and I just want something new. So my plan is to take these old hand towels and to sandwich them between these, kind of like you would do a quilt top, and stitch around them. I'm going to stitch over top of them. I have some ideas, and I'm hoping that that will make a nice hand towel. Now, this fabric's 100% cotton. I think that would be okay. I mean, you know, that's what the hand towels are made out of. So I'm not sure how functional they're going to be. I hope that they are, because I do intend to use these hand towels. I'm not making them just for decoration, although you could do that. But I'm going to see how that goes. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I think they'll look okay, but like I said, I'm just not sure about the functionality. So I'm going to give it a try. I mean, what do I have to lose, right? So let's give it a go and see what happens. So now I have cut the edge off of this towel because I didn't want that, you know, folded over really thick edge to have to sew through when I'm putting this together. So I did that, and I've also cut out the length of the fabric that I want and the width. So I have it all ready here. And I've ironed them under, and I ironed them together just like I did when I did the tablecloth. Because I thought that might be easier. It'd probably been easier if I'd cut them out together too. Might have been a little faster. But so now I've ironed over about, maybe a ½ inch. It's going to be more in some places because the fabric is not cut precisely. And so I have folded over and ironed that down for a seam allowance there. And so now I'm just going to put it together. So I'm just going to kind of tuck this inside here, I think. Under these edges. Try to get it, it'll take me a minute here to get this where I want it. Kind of centered in the middle of my fabric. So I've just tucked it inside this fold of this seam allowance here. I've just kind of tucked that in like that. Okay, now I'm going to put the oranges print on top. So with these sides pressed down, I'm going to put that over it like that. And then I'll be ready to start pinning. I think this is going to be a pretty quick little project. I'm still working on that Kawandi. It is taking longer than I thought, and I have had some trouble, some mistakes that I made in the beginning So I'm going to make another video about that, talking about, you know, what I've learned in the process. I'm going to share that with you. So that if you're interested in making a Kiwandi too, and you run across this video, that you can not make the mistakes I made, maybe. Because I did make a mistake at the very beginning. So I'm just going to start in this corner over here. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe I do need my quilting pins. Let's try that instead. Straight pins are not working at the moment because there's a lot of layers here in this edge. So I'm going to use my quilting pins that are curved like this. And I'm going to pin it like that, and hopefully that will be better. And I'm going to pin toward the middle because I know that's where the towel is, and I want to catch that towel in here too so it doesn't move around when I'm trying to sew it. Because the towel doesn't come all the way out to this edge here. It's about right here. I can feel it. So I'm going to pin, instead of pinning this way, I'm going to pin into the middle here. So every couple of inches or so, maybe every 4 to 6 inches, I'll probably put a pin in it to keep it together. I think these will be better anyway because when I was doing the table runner, I used the straight pins because there wasn't a ton of fabric to go through. But as I was hand sewing it, pulling it around, I was catching my fingers on the ends of those pins. So I think this will be better anyway. So I'm going to put one over here. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to keep going, and I'm just going to pin all of this down. Okay, so I've got it all pinned up, and now I am going to start my stitching. Now I'm just going to do a running stitch across here, and I have 2 strands of embroidery floss in the color red. And I'm just going to make a running stitch all the way around, starting here in the corner. I'll do a few stitches with you here. I'm going to take this pin out. And so it will look very similar to my table runner because I do want them to kind of match. So I'm going to do kind of the same thing I did on there. And I'm just going to go across here. Like I said, the towel is inside there. Ooh, I could do a blanket stitch. That might be fun too to try, but I do want to keep it kind of consistent. Oh, I lost my thread. There we go. And I'm going to try to make my stitches a little smaller. I noticed that a lot of times when I'm doing the running stitch, because I am new at embroidery, and I have noticed that a lot of times I am I'm making my stitches too big. I feel like, you know, when you're a little kid and you're learning how to write and they give you those big like jumbo pencils and those big like fat crayons and things like that, and you make your letters really big. I feel like that's the way I am with embroidery. Like my stitches are just really big. They look more like basting stitches, but that's okay. With every project I make, I'm gonna get better. So I'm just gonna keep practicing and keep doing it. But I am trying to make my stitches a little bit smaller this time. And so there we go. So that's what it's gonna look like as we go across here. And then I have some other plans for what I'm gonna do in the middle, because the towel, because I cut that edge off, the towel really starts about like right here. So I'm gonna need to put some stitching in here, and I do kind of want it to look quilted. So I have some plans for that. I'm going to kind of pin this towel there so it'll stay there. Okay, so I'm gonna continue going around here, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do in the middle. Okay, so now I have stitched all the way around here. Got my running stitch on there. And now I'm going to work on the inside, and I'm going to do some stitch work across here. So I want some lines that come across here, maybe one in the middle and then one on each side of the middle, like that. And I'm just going to stitch straight across. And so that way that'll keep that towel in place and give it kind of a quilted look. So I'm going to do the middle seam first. So to get that middle seam, because this is not an even amount, so it was just easier, I think, to just fold it in half like this, and then here's my middle. So I'm going to take my little like fabric marker here, and I'm just going to mark that middle right inside there so that I know that that's the middle there. And then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to get the middle on the other side, and I'm going to mark that one. So now I know where the middle is on both sides. Make sure I can see that. Okay. Then I'm going to open it up so I can see my middles there, and then I'm going to grab kind of my big ruler here, and I'm going to try to line it up on my mat here to kind of help me keep a straight line. So I'm going to line it up on that edge there. About like that. So I have the dot on the 10-inch mark here, and then on that mark too. Oh, that doesn't stay. Okay. So now I'm just going to line this up at the bottom so I have it all straight. And I'm just going to put some marks here ever so often. I'm not going to draw a line, but I'm just going to put a few dots to kind of keep me in line. Then I'm going to have to move this up, pull this toward me, and I'm going to line this dot up with that dot right there at the end, and I'll put one more dot about right here. There we go. So that's what I'm going to do my middle. My middle lines, because I want these lines to be fairly straight. And I know if I do it by hand, or by, just looking at it, which is what I normally do, I'm not sure those lines will turn out straight. I'm fairly certain that they will go wonky and be crooked. And I want them to be as straight as possible. Okay, so now if I take my middle, see, I'm not even having to do math here, guys. I'm just going to take that dot, take this edge, and put them together and get my other line there. Because I will avoid math if I can. Okay. So then there's my line there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other edge. I'm just going to keep doing this with this side and the other side. Line my edge up to my dot right there. And I'm going to get this measurement right there. And that's how it's going to go. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to line it up using my mat. Here we go. Try to line that up the best I can. There we go. And I'm just going to put some dots to help keep me on track. And that's all there is to it. Then I'll do the other end, and then I'll be ready to stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to do my stitch work here across the top. I am using this pink thread. It's just a cotton thread. It's super old. This was in my mom's stash from a long time ago. And I've threaded my needle. I'm using a quilting needle. And I think it's really going to blend in to this fabric and look good. I'm trying to decide if I think I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to be going straight across here. So I'm going to start where my little dot is. And I'm going to come up on the underside of there. Right there. I should have done this like you do a quilt and do it beforehand, you know, before I do the edging. But maybe I'll try that with the other one. But since we're already going, we're just going to keep on going here. And I'm just going to just stitch, working my way, trying to make small stitches, working my way to my next dot. There we go. Just trying to twist up on me here. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. I might try the embroidery thread on the other one and see if I like that better. That way in the future I'll know what kind of thread. I'm getting all tangled up here. What am I doing? Okay. Okay, I might just have to go across. I'm trying to figure out which the best way to do this. So bear with me here. And I keep getting all tangled up. Okay. I think it's because I don't really want to go down on my board here. But I might have to do it this way. So my next dot is here. And make sure that you can see that. My next dot is right here. So I'm just going to keep going. There we go. That's working out better. Okay. So I'm just going to go here and just make my little stitches across here. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that across all these lines, and then I'm going to go once down the middle of this fabric here, and then it'll be done. Okay, it's all finished. I stitched my 3 lines across. I'll show you the strawberry side this time. I stitched my lines across here, and then 1 straight down this middle, and then 3 right here. And so it kind of created these little squares, or rectangles really. But I think it's really cute. And then here's the other side. And so I thought it would look good. I just don't know how functional it will be, like I said in the beginning. But we're going to try it out, and we'll see. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe it gave you some new ideas to kind of, you know, upcycle or recycle your old things and make them new again. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.